Alright, so as the title probably says, this is my official ranking of all the How to Train Your Dragon dragons, technically. I have all the ones from the shows, all the ones from the movies. I put the live action designs in just because, and there's a couple from the games that I just thought were standouts. Just ones that I actually cared about because I've been a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon since I was 5 when the first movie came out, and I watch all the shows. I watch all the movies. I was never a big fan of the games though, so a lot of the game dragons, I know people like a lot of them, but I've always just been kind of neutral on them just because I never really liked Rise of Berk or School of Dragons. I just never played a lot of them. So I did put a couple in here though, and only one for the Nine Realms. I have watched all of the Nine Realms, and I originally made this tier list with all the Nine Realms dragons in it, but it was just really bloating the bottom tiers, so I was like, I'll just take it out. I left one in by accident. There is one that is in here on purpose. So this tier list, I decided to give all the tiers a name because I like when people do that. So I have my all-time favorite, my all-time least favorite, which I'm gonna be doing at the very end. The one that will go there, I'll just put in these tiers. The tier below it is, or tier below all-time favorite is some of the best, which is just I think it's the best dragons that the franchise has to offer. Beneath that is Great Dragon. That's a self-explanatory. It's just I like them. It's nothing. I just like them a lot. The one below that is cool concept, but mixed execution. So this is dragons that I think in concept are really cool, but I feel like they kind of fell flat in some ways. It could be design or just it's a cool idea. I just don't think it fits in the setting that the show is in. And below it is meh. It's not good or bad. It should probably be mid, honestly, but it's just dragons that are I don't love them, I don't hate them, they're just kind of there. Below that is just I don't like you. It's just dragons that I'm just personally not a fan of. I don't have anything against them. They're just personally dragons I don't really like. Below that is I really don't like you. These are dragons that have a reason that I dislike them. And the one below that is I fundamentally disagree with your existence and the principles on which you were designed. That is there for a very specific reason. And then all-time least favorite. So, also, there are some dragons on here where only one member of the species ever appears. I'll use Toothless, for example. I'm putting Night Furies on. Night Fury, as a whole species, I'm not ranking Toothless. So, and I'm taking, every instance where they're on screen. So, I'm not just ranking Night Fury from the first movie. I'm ranking Night Fury from all the shows and all the movies as well. So the first one I have, the Armor Wing. I'm putting really strong star. I really like the Armor Wing. I feel like a year ago I probably would have put him in great, but I recently wrote, I say wrote, I'm still working on it, How to Train Your Dragon Splatoon crossover, where an Armor Wing is one of the main dragons, and I realized I really like them. I kind of just threw them in because it felt like they would fit, but I really like Armor Wings. I think they're a really natural feeling dragon. Their just idea of a dragon that takes metal and fuses it to its body, that just feels like something that would exist, and I like that I like that some dragons are really building themselves around Viking civilization, or just humans in general. The only thing that I would have against it is it's a little ugly. Its face is just a little ugly. It's got that big underbite. You go away. And I kind of wish that they were a little different colored. I think if they were a gold or if they were more of a silver, but they're kind of just a muted green. I say them. I think only one appears, so maybe more of them are different, but I know I just said I'm not, but but that's all we have. That's all we have to go off of. And right below that, this is gonna make, I feel like if anybody watches this, it'll make them mad. I'm putting Bone Napper in cool concept mixed execution. Cause I know Bone Nappers are a fan favorite. They just don't make any sense to me. And I think that's an issue that might come up on a lot of the other dragons, is the idea of a dragon that steals other dragons' bones is really cool. But I think that would be a lot cooler if it was a small dragon that hid in dragons' bones, and their skulls, like a hermit crab. But it doesn't make any sense, and the whole it can't roar unless it has all its bones just never made much sense to me. And the only appearance that it's in is the Legend of the Bone Napper, which to me is not canon, because, we don't... Alright, I'm not saying it's not canon, but as in, I don't think it actually happened. I think that is just Gobber telling a story. But, I think their idea is cool. They just don't make a lot of sense to me. And then, oh, here we go. We got the Buffalord. I'm gonna put the Buffalord in meh. You know what? I'll put it down to tier. I just don't really like them. They're just kind of ugly to me. Like, they're a cool idea. Like, I like the idea of like a vegetarian grazing dragon, but like they're just, I don't know. I don't really like the time that they showed up. The episode that they showed up, or the one showed up in was good, but it's, I don't know. They're just, I don't know. They just don't do it for me. And this is my tier list. And then we have the Cavern Crasher. I'm putting Cavern Crasher in. I really don't like you. They're another one that could probably go here, but I personally do not like them. I don't like their design. I think that the yellow is like really tacky and ugly. They're just a gross looking dragon. I don't like looking at them. I don't like when they're on screen. They don't make sense for a dragon that lives in an archipelago. Like, if this dragon lived in like a mountain region, that would make a lot more sense, but like, we see it go between islands, and I'm like, how? It doesn't swim, it doesn't fly, I don't know. I just don't like it. It's just gross looking. And then Changewing. I'm gonna put Changewing in Great Dragon. I like them. They turn invisible. I think that they're cool looking. There's nothing super standout about them. I just like them. I don't have a lot to say about them. They're cool. I like the episode that they're introduced in, and I like pretty much every episode that they're in. So that's just a cool dragon. And now, we have the Death Gripper. I am just gonna say now, I'm not a big fan of the third movie. Like, I feel like I'm pretty notoriously not a big fan of the third movie. As an idea, I would put them in some of the best. I think that if I didn't know what I knew about them, I would say that they're some of the best. I love their design. I love, like, the idea of, like, this, like, pack-hunting wolf dragon that can, like, inject another dragon with its venom and then bring it back to its nest to, like, feed to its children. Like, that's such a cool idea. But I know things, and I know that they were designed to just be the bad guy dragon. They're just evil. And so I'm putting them in. They're a really cool idea. They just weren't executed well. They're just the evil dragon, and I don't like that. Because, like, the Red Death isn't, like, the evil dragon. The Red Death is just an antagonistic dragon that's just kind of doing its dragon thing. But it's the fact that, like, the movie went out of its way to say that the Death Grippers were being mind-controlled into doing what they were doing, and yet they were still killed. That just has never sat right with me. It's the fact they're just supposed to be evil-looking. I feel like it really goes against the franchise. They should probably go down here, honestly, but I think that they look cool enough that I'll give them some grace and put them in cool concept mixed execution. Next is the Eruptodon. I put the Eruptodon in meh. I think that I like the idea of a dragon that can, like, live in lava. I don't have anything against them. Their design is just kind of, I don't really like it. It's just so blocky. Not blocky, it's just, like, round, and it's just not nice to look at. Like, when you see it fly, it's, like, just feels awkward. I don't have a lot to say about them. I think they're a cool idea. It's just, I don't really like them that much. I'm not gonna put them in I don't like you, though. I could say, maybe I'll move them down to I don't like you, now that I'm saying it. But that feels kind of mean towards them. And the other, next I have Dramillions, and I'm gonna put Dramillions in Great Dragon. I really like Dramillions. I feel like I could really easily go off on, it doesn't make any sense at all that they can, like, mimic Dragonfire, but, like, I don't know why that's where I can suspend my disbelief, and that the Titan Wing ones can camouflage. I really shouldn't be suspending my disbelief for that. Like, this feels, like, biased. I just like them. Like, I like that they're kind of, like, raptor-like, and I don't know, I think that their designs are nice. I like their lore that hunters use them for practice because they can, like, mimic different kinds of dragonfire. And I remember seeing this somewhere. I haven't checked the episode to see if it's true, but I did, I think, read somewhere that a Dramillion uses a Night Fury blast at one point in the episode before Toothless comes in. So it's kind of like, at the time, I was like, oh, it's implying that there's more Night Furies, and maybe the hunters had a Night Fury at one point, that they taught their Dramillions to use their fire, and it's just that ability has been passed down and down and down throughout generations. Which, if it's true, that could entirely be false, and I'm just misremembering, but I think that'd be cool. I put this guy in by accident. I put 2 Nine Realms and one's in by accident. But I did not put the Featherhide in by accident. I like the Featherhide. Their design is cool. I like Alex. She's, like, kind of the only thing that makes the Nine Realms worth watching. I like feathers. I don't know. I just think that the design is nice. I think that the idea of, like, a dragon that can, like, mimic other or, like, human speech perfectly, even though they never use it outside of the episode that it's introduced. I don't know. I like them. I don't have much of a reason. I just like them, so I put them in. The Flightmare is going into some of the best. Flightmare is such a cool looking dragon. It's so pretty. Like, sometimes when I watch an episode of the Flightmare's End, you're looking at the Flightmare first scene, and then you look at the other dragons, and you're like, oh, they're not glowing. The glowing is so cool. And I like the episode that it's introduced where, like, the other dragons drink the algae and they all glow. And it's kind of like, just, you see colors. I just like seeing different colors. I like seeing the other dragons glowing in the dark. It doesn't make any sense, but it's cool looking. A dragon that, like, follows this, like, trail of algae is really cool to me. It's the fact that it, like, comes back every, like, 10 years and has been, like, haunting Aster's family. Like, that's a cool idea for a dragon. So I just like them. I don't feel like I have to explain Flightmares that much. I feel like everybody likes them. The next one is the Grapple Grounder. This one is from, it was the Wii game. I think it was also a 3DS game, but I didn't have a 3DS, I only had a Wii. And I like him. I like the little grappling dragon. I kind of like that you can see him in the Great Hall. So I'm gonna put them in Great Dragon. They're one of the few game ones that I put in here just because I have, like, positive associations with Grapple Grounders because I really liked the Wii game as a kid. And I don't know, I like brawling dragons. I like dragons that, like, actually, like, fight with, like, their claws and not just, like, shooting fire at each other. So I just like them. I wish we saw more of them. The Red Death, I'm putting her in some of the best. Really good antagonist. I really like her design. I like just how kind of, like, I don't know, mountainous she looks. Like how, I don't know, I'm saying she. I've always said it. I've never said she for her, but you know what? She. The Red Death is a girl now. I don't know. Was just a really good dragon for the fight. I like how they utilized every, I guess, weakness or aspect of the dragon in the fight. Like, all of the bumps on her and her crest, that, like, snout that was falling onto, and, like, the eyes and the tail at the end. I don't know, I feel like it was a very well-utilized dragon, and I like big dragons, and I like, the whole hive mind thing, that it was, like, a dragon controlling other dragons to feed it, and that the only way that they were able to break it is because of, Hiccup and Toothless working together. Like, I like that fight a lot, because it's not, oh, Toothless gets a new power-up and now he can beat the villain. It's Hiccup coming up with a plan and working with what he knows. I don't know. So I have a lot of positive associations with the Red Death. Also, it was in the first movie, the first antagonist, so you get a point there. Next to the motherfucking Hackatu, this is here because of my sister. This is her favorite dragon, so I'm gonna preemptively put it in all-time favorite, just for her. This is one from Rise of Berk that my sister really likes. She has said that this is her favorite dragon of all time, so I'm putting it in there for her. Personally, I don't have a lot of associations with the Hackatu, other than it's fun to say, but there is your mention. What's this one called? I think it's Hobble Grunt? I think this one's the Hobble Grunt. It's the blind dragon, or the dragon that was blinded in the second movie. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one in meh. It's cool, like, I like that it changes colors. It kind of reminds me of Rain Wings, but its design is nice. It's just, I don't really have any, that's why it's in meh. I don't really have any strong associations with this dragon. That's kind of how I feel about a lot of the dragons from How to Train Your Dragon 2. Like, I feel like that movie really fell short on giving new cool dragons, because really all it has is the Bewilderbeast. Like, other than that, it adds a lot of dragons, but those dragons don't get fleshed out in the movie, which is really sad to me, because I don't know, I like Stoics, the Rumblehorn, that's what they're called, and the Hot Burple, I like, which is Gobber's dragon. I like both of them, but just because of the abilities they were given later in the shows. But in the movie itself, they didn't really give a lot of the background dragons what they deserved. What's this one? The little dragon that Gobber hates in the third movie. I really don't like them. I don't know. I don't know why. They're just unpleasant to look at, again. Like, it's just, I don't know, because I feel like if you're supposed to look at it and be like, oh, it's it's like a little fat dragon, but I don't like it. I think it's gross, and I don't even remember what it's called. Hobgobbler, that's what it's called. I don't know. It was a joke that I thought was dumb in the movie, and I don't know. I don't know if it's implying that they breed really fast or that they, like, summon each other, but I don't like them. I just don't like them. And we got the Hot Burple, which really great dragon. I like the Hot Burple a lot. I think it's a very well executed, like, relative of the Gronkle. Like, this dragon, you can feel it's very closely related to Gronkles. I like that it can, like, digest metal. I think that's a really cool idea. Not to go back to the Armor Wing, but I feel like something I forgot to mention is I like that they're very clearly related to Monstrous Nightmares. Like, you can see where they could have hypothetically split. if I were to make like a dragon tree, I guess, which I should do that. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, I like them. I like their design. They're very sweet looking. I like that they're just tired all the time, which kind of makes sense because I imagine like digesting metal is tiresome on your digestive system. So I don't know. I just like them. I like they really feel like they fit for Gobber, like a blacksmith kind of dragon. The next one is the large shadow. I'm gonna put the large shadow in probably meh. Or I don't know. Okay, cool concept, mixed execution, because I think that like the idea of like this symbiotic relationship between like this big dragon and all the little dragons, I just think its design is kind of ugly. It's got kind of like this post How to Train Your Dragon 2 design that's like really brightly colored and like kind of plastic looking. That I feel like a lot of the later dragons have. It feels kind of lazy, I guess. I don't know. I like that it roars like a thunder drum. I guess it's just, it doesn't show up for very much, but I don't know, I kind of wish it looked a little bit cooler. So I guess, I'll put it in meh. I just don't really have any strong feelings about it. The next one, I'm gonna skip a couple of them, do them later. I threw the Lycan Wing in for fun. And I'm controversially putting Lycan Wing in some of the best. I really like the idea of a werewolf dragon. Like, I know that they're in the canon, they're like a legend, but I don't know. I like that they add like legend dragons. Like I said, I don't think my personal headcanon is the Bone Napper is not a real dragon. It is a legend. The Lycan Wing is not a real dragon, but I like that they add in dragons that aren't real. If that makes sense. Like, I like the idea of fictional dragons in this universe, which I feel like makes a lot of sense. Because I feel like we as the audience are inclined to be like, oh, of course that dragon's real, because all these other dragons are real, but like, if you lived in the universe, like, no, this doesn't make any sense. And I also have a lot of positive associations with Lycan Wings, because when I was in, I think my freshman year of high school, I got really into drawing Lycan Wing characters. I just think they're fun to draw, like a half-human, half-dragon. It was really fun for a while. So I have a lot of positive associations. I'm putting them in some of the best, maybe controversially. Next is the Natter, which I think that's one of the first classic ones, which obviously I'm popping that at some of the best. The Natter was my favorite dragon for a long time. It was my favorite. I really flip-flop between this one and the one that will inevitably go an all-time favorite. They're just good looking. Like, they're very fun to watch. Like, they're satisfying to watch them fly. They're like bipedal. I don't know. I like the scene with the Natter in the arena in the first movie where you just see her flying around and like poking around corners. That was I think it's a really good scene, and it just makes the Natters look really good, like fun. And I think their ability is cool, like their tail spikes. I don't know, they're just good. I don't feel like they're another dragon I don't have to explain. And I like the lore in the shows that they're like faster than Toothless in some situations, or faster than Night Furies in some situations. I like that. I like giving another dragon at least some edge on the oh so special overpowered Night Furies. So good for you. And all their designs are good. I think like, and you can put any color in a Natter and it'll look good. Like some dragons, I feel like they're background dragons that got like greens and oranges don't look good, but all the background Natters I've seen, I always thought looked good. The next one is the Quaken. I'm putting this one in another great dragon, kind of for the similar reason as the Hot Burple. They're just cool. I like this like big dragon that's smashing into things. Like I like a lot of the Boulder class dragons for that. I like their split jaws. Split jaws on monster dragon characters will always look really cool to me. I like that they have like a symbiotic relationship with Gronkles. I can kind of imagine that Quakens are maybe like a more rare dragon, like they've maybe been hunted, because like we see them in that one episode where they're like exploited for mining. So I can imagine that they were at one point very like well populated and had like flocks, but now they're very spread out because they've been just like decimated by hunting. So I like the idea that now they have like a relationship with Gronkles, so they can feel like they're get like that social connection, and then they like provide them food. I think that's cute, and their design is also just really nice. The next one is the Scuttleclaw. I don't like the Scuttleclaw. I think it's one of those. It's kind of in a similar place as the oh god, a Hobgobbler. That's what it's called. Where it's like I feel like I'm supposed to look at this and think, oh, it's so cute, but I don't know. I don't like its face. We only see the baby ones. Okay, because I feel like in the second movie they made it clear, like, oh, these are the baby ones. But then in the third movie we still see them and they're still babies. We never see an adult one. And I don't know. If we saw the adult version, maybe I'd like the adult version, but like as we've seen them, I don't know. They're gross looking to me. I don't like them. What do we got? We got Sentinels. Sentinels, I'm gonna put in cool concept, mixed execution. They feel a little too fantastical to me. Like, I'm really mixed on the idea of Vanaheim. Like, I like the idea that it's like this, oh, it's this dead bewilder beast that's like body is still maybe like commanding dragons to come to. Or like, I imagine like maybe a bewilder beast had this massive flock of dragons and then it died, and then the dragons would still return. They maybe left, but they'd still return to it when they were feeling like sick or weak, because they like, maybe its body was still calling them to it. And then like over the generations, like maybe the dragons from that original flock just passed down to their kids, or they evolved to be like, oh, if you're feeling ill or like you feel like you're at the end of the life, this is a safe place for you to go. And I think that's a cool idea. I just think the Sentinels are a little bit, they don't make a lot of sense as a like filling a niche in the ecosystem. Like, I don't know, they feel a little bit too fantasy dragon, and that they sit perfectly still, and that they're kind of like gargoyles. I think their designs are really cool. I feel like in a different context it'd be a really cool dragon, like if it was just, oh, it's this dragon that like it goes dormant, and but that it attacks if you fly by it. Like, it can camouflage itself as a rock, but that's not what it is. So, I don't know. It's a cool idea. I don't really like the whole Vanaheim thing. The next one is gonna be controversial. I'm not putting Night Furies in some of the best. I'm sorry. I'm putting them here because I am breaking Night Furies as we have seen them in every depiction. In the first movie, they would go here, obviously. If it was just the shows, they would go here. But if it's the second and the third movie, I don't like what they did with them. Like, I think that the lore that they were all hunted by this one guy is really stupid. Like, it feels really lazy. And it's the fact that we see that one guy, and you can say, oh, he had this, like, pack of, like, these, like, bloodhound dragons that sniff down every night. But then Toothless kills them really easily. So it's like, okay, so is Toothless just the strongest Night Fury ever? It doesn't make any sense. And their whole, like, lightning to camouflage makes... Why would they need that? Why would a dragon that is already black to blend in with the night sky need the ability to call in lightning to camouflage it? It doesn't make any sense. It was a really stupid thing for them to add. And that's just kind of my issue with the later movies, where it's just, like, giving... The resolution to every boss fight, I guess, at the end of the movie is just, oh, Toothless learned this new cool power that he has, and he just uses that to win. I don't know. I didn't like it. And I feel like everything is revolved around Night Furies, and I'm like, this franchise has so many really cool dragons in it, and everything just revolves around Night Furies constantly. I've been in this fandom for a very long time, and I'm a little tired of them. I'm just tired of seeing them everywhere. So, and I mean, like, I feel like I don't have to say the things that I like about Night Furies. Like, they're fast, they have a really good design, and in the first movie, at least, I think the design is good. I really don't like the redesign, especially in the third movie. It looks really bad. And if, like, we're going off of Toothless as an adult Night Fury in the third movie, and he's, like, a teenage Night Fury in the first one, then it's like, okay, so do Night Furies just look like that when they become adults? Because if so, they just look stupid. They just look really blocky and not very aerodynamic. This is a rant against Night Furies. I'm sorry. Night Furies, they're too popular. They are overrated. You know what? Adding a tier. Fuck. We'll make it, overrated. I don't know if that's one word. I think it's one word. And we'll make it black for Night Furies, I guess. It is one word. I can't spell. There you go. There you go, Night Furies. There's your tier. That's what I'm deeming you. Overrated. You can't see that whatsoever. It says overrated. Alright. I feel like if anybody was watching this, they got sick of hearing me rant about Night Furies. Next one, I think this is the Prickle Boggle. Another meh, alongside the other one for How to Train Your Dragon 2. Their design is nice. I don't have anything against their design. It's just like, what do they do? They don't have anything super unique about them that would make me want to put them any higher. They're just kind of there. They're just there to fill space, like a lot of the How to Train Your Dragon 2 dragons. On the Night Terrors. I really like the Night Terrors. I had a pet lobster when I was a kid, and I named my lobster after Smidvark, and he lived for like 7 years. I like their design. I like the idea of these dragons that all swarm together to make one big dragon. I think that they're cool. I like the idea that, like, maybe there's like a battle for the alpha Night Terror, and then maybe the, like, dominant hormones make it turn white. I don't know if that makes any sense. Or maybe it's like a descendant thing. Maybe it's like a queen bee, and the main one, lays a lot of eggs, and then one of those eggs just happens to hatch as the white night terror, and that one just naturally assumes the leadership. I don't know. I think they're cool. I really like them. I feel like their size changes a lot. Maybe this is just me. I feel like sometimes they're like a little bit bigger than a terrible terror, and then in some scenes they're big enough for fish legs to sit on them. Maybe they changed the size. Maybe I was a stupid kid and I have really bad depth perception, but I don't know. I like them a lot. On the Sea Shocker, I'm putting them in cool concept, mixed execution, just because I don't get in the shows they said that they're like a deep sea dragon when they're very clearly not. Like, if it was a deep sea dragon, then I feel like, wouldn't it be dead on the surface? Like, if it was okay, I guess that's not fair. I guess there's like sperm whales that can come to the surface, but if they're just meant to live in the deep sea, I feel like it doesn't make much sense that they are built like a manta ray. Like, they look very much like a surface reef kind of dragon where they jump up out of the water and that's just what they look like. I like the two heads. I like two-headed dragons. I think that's cool looking. I like that they can, like, tap their little noses together to make a big force or lightning blast. A water dragon being, like, electricity-based makes a lot of sense to me. So I like it. It's just, the only reason that they're here and not here is because of the deep sea thing that they added in Race to the Edge. I'd say 90% of the time I like the lore that Race to the Edge adds to, like, background movie dragons. That's just the one that made no sense to me. Also, why are they in the Hidden World? That doesn't make any fucking sense. And the Death Song. Death Song is easily some of the best. I think that they're a better version of the Death Gripper. For a lot of reasons. The only negative that I could have for them is I think that they should have been, I guess, a little bit bulkier, just because they eat a whole dragon. You'd think they'd, like, put a little bit of weight on. But I really like them. I like that they can, like, lure in dragons. That's a really cool idea. And that it captures them in its amber instead of just fighting them. And it just, like, slowly waits for them to, like, dehydrate so that they're, like, too weak to fight back, and then it breaks them out. I like to think that it eats the amber, too. Like, it produces amber really slowly, and it has to, like, eat the amber and, like, reuse it. That's none of the shows. I just think that's cool. And what I like about them much more than the Death Gripper is that they're just treated as an animal. Like, in the episode where they're introduced, it's not like Hiccup and all the others free all of its captured dragons. The only dragon that they free that isn't their own is the baby Thunderdrum, because the Thunderdrum helped them. And then they befriend a Death Song and later in the show, and I like that they're not an evil dragon. It's just, this is just what this dragon does. And it was antagonistic in that situation, but then in later episodes, the Death Song is like their ally. And I like that the Death Song, that was trying to kill them in the first season. They do free it because it's being used by the hunters. It's being used by the hunters to do something that it wouldn't normally do. So instead of killing it, they free it, and it goes back to being an animal. I don't know why I'm holding the Death Gripper. That I think it must have just stuck to my mouse for some reason. I don't know why I feel the need to. I'm gonna stop. But yeah, I really like them. I think the design is really pretty. Just everything about him is good. Next one is the Fireworm. I'm gonna count the Fireworm Queen and the Fireworm as the same creature. Like, I counted the Night Terrors as the same one. I'm gonna say Great Dragon. I like their design a lot. I like the Fireworm Queen. I like this more, like, I guess, bug-like creature. The Stoker class dragons having this, like, illness where they can, like, lose their fire, and then the fireworms are able to, like, reignite it. I think that that's cool. That's cool to me. I can see people thinking that that's kind of stupid, but I think it's really cool. I guess it's just, I feel like a lot of dragons up here, I kind of have, like, stronger feelings about it. I just like them. I don't, like, really like them, though. Next is, it got a name recently, this one. I think it was called, like, Fire Talon or Flame Talon or something like that. It got a name recently. I think that's part of the... I'm putting it in meh. I can't even remember what its name is. It's this guy is just another background How to Train Your Dragon 2 dragon. It's just bright color, plasticky, bulky looking dragon. Nothing special about it. Next is the Slitherwing. Slitherwing. I really like the Slitherwing. It's so intimidating looking. Which I feel like after How to Train Your Dragon 2, a lot of the dragons kind of became more toy-like. Now, this doesn't look kind of like a toy, but it's like... I feel like the dragons in the Cartoon Network series in the first movie just looked scarier. Like, I would say, like... I mean, I was a kid when all that came out, and I loved them, so I wasn't scared of them. Or, I guess, like, if... to like rephrase. I mean, I was and like I thought that they were scary, but I liked that about them. And I feel like the slithering kind of goes back to that. Like, it makes sense that, like, unlike the other dragons that I kind of complain about, like the Cavern Crasher, it makes sense that this would be very brightly colored. I like that it's covered in, it's like saliva-y poison. They're just creepy. And that whole episode just has this, like, era of tension to it, or, like, aura of tension to it, where, like, oh, Astrid is poisoned, and Garth is captured, and Stormfly is dying, and we're all separated. And I don't know, it's a really good, tense episode. And I like the scene where, like, Snotlout and Hiccup are in the cave together, like, sneaking past all of the sleeping Slitherwings, and if they wake them up, they're all dead. Like, it's just a really cool... I also like that episode, not really related to, the Slitherwing, but I like that we kind of see Stormfly go into the same, like, alpha mode that Toothless went into in the second movie. I feel like I never see people talk about that, but, like, she definitely had kind of, like, a similar emotional reaction to her friends being in, like, mortal peril, and freaked out to go save them. And I'm like, I kind of wish that, I don't know if it was like a budget thing or if I'm reading too much into this or if like they couldn't because it'd make Toothless so special, but I kind of wish that she had like a yellow glow on her to be like, oh no, Stormfly can do this too. And she's really mad that like her rider and her friends are all in danger. I don't know. I really like Stormfly. So I guess I have that association with Slitherwings. I think it was a good episode for her as a character. Next is, I'm putting you near the top. We'll put Armor first. I love the Screaming Death. It is so scary. Look, I loved this thing as a kid. It's just how tough it looks. Like, and this, oh my god, this scene where it's introduced, where Hiccup falls off of Toothless, and he's sitting on the sea stack, and you just see this thing rise up to stare down at him. I like that episode a lot, because I feel like they used the scale really well, like the scene where I think Gustav falls down, and he looks up at this terrifying thing. It's so freaky looking, and I love it. I love the, like, earlier How to Train Your Dragon, where the dragons look really tough. And I don't know. I think it's lore that it's, like, this really random mutation in, what do I call it? Whispering Deaths. I don't know. It's really cool. Next is the, my brain wants to say Shell Shocker. I don't think that's what it's called. I know what it's called. The big crab dragon. Oh, I can't. Shellfire. That's what it's called. Shellfire. I'm putting it, the only reason I'm putting it in mixed execution, it's so ugly. It's so ugly. I like the idea of this dragon that can just make these massive projectiles that can fire over a mile. Like, I can imagine it has these, like, really, maybe, like, this thing likes to go onto land to, like, either eat or sunbathe, so it has this, like, projectile where it can just, like, clear an island of all dragons and then just, like, sits there and it's its island until it leaves. I like that it kind of has beef with the Submaripper, and I like I do really like the concept that they, like, made this submarine on top of it, and they're using it to, like, attack other islands. I thought it was a really good episode, that it was used in. And it got a kill. It killed, Riker, so, you know, this thing has, I like that whenever a dragon can, like, take out a character or a villain, I think that's remarkable. Like I said, the only reason it's in mixed execution is it's such an ugly dragon. The yellow and the purple are they just don't look good. It's just not good shades. Its face, it's the face only a mother could love. I don't know. It's not to rip into him, but, like, man, he's ugly. The next one is the Snaffle Fang. Snaffle Fang. Yeah, that's what it's called. I'm putting you in Great Dragon. It's nothing that you did. When I was in middle school and Titan Uprising came out, so this is just a dragon I have very personal connections with. I was writing this, like, fan fiction, because I liked I wanted to make, like, a story that was, like, How to Train the movies, but it was, like, kind of more similar to the book universe, where it's an island that a bewilderbeast lives on as well, and it has this flock of dragons, and, like, a coming of age for, like, their teenagers in the island is they have to go out and train a dragon. And I was like, okay, I want to have a dragon that, like, the main character, that's, like, her dragon. And I was like, I want it to be, like, a dragon that I can kind of, like, project onto a bit more, so I picked the Snafflefang. I don't know why. I think it's just because I really like the bulky Boulder-class dragons. And I was like, I never see anybody talk about this dragon, so I'm going to take it, and I'm going to make it mine. And I made it look like the yellow and purple one from Titan Uprising, so I've always kind of been a little attached to them for that. So I'm putting it in Great Dragon. Nothing that you did in the movies, it does nothing to deserve it. I just have personal attachments to this species of dragon, so he gets a mention. The Sun Ripper is going right next to the, I always want to call it the Shell Shocker. I already forgot what it's called. The Shell Shocker, that's what it's called now. Just because it's a really cool idea. I like it sucks in the big whirlpools, and it has kills. It killed all of those traders. That was brutal. It makes the whirlpools. I think that's really cool. I like that you can, like, smell all of the things that it's killed, like, rotting in its mouth. Like, that's such a nasty detail that I like a lot. So yeah, the only reason it's here is, again, it's ugly. It's just really ugly. Those greens just don't look good on it. I wish it was, like, a little bit scarier looking. Like, it's just another one of those post How to Train Your Dragon 2 dragons that's just too colorful. I feel like it could really easily be, like, a screaming death level of, like, fear if it was just allowed to look even a little bit intimidating. But I like that episode a lot. I think it was utilized very well. Like, the tension of, like, a human character being stuck underwater was really cool. I like Hiccups' stupid little, like, fin leg that he made. That's not really related to this dragon. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, it's just a cool dragon. Thunderpede, I put you in here specifically so I can say I really don't like you. I don't like its design. I think it's gross, and I hate it in the games. Sorry to the Thunderpede fans. Its stupid little wings piss me off. And it's gross looking. So I put it in here just to bully it. Here's another Nine Realms dragon that I left in here for some reason. The next one is I'm saving you for later. I'm saving the Light Fury for later. I have a, like, 20-minute rant about the Light Fury that I should probably make a separate video. But the Shockjaw, I'm gonna put you in Great Dragon. It's one of those game dragons. I think it's in School of Dragons. But I remember it mostly from Rise of Berk. I like it. It's nice, like, sleek looking dragon in the water. I like water dragons. My favorite class is the title class. But it's another one of those, like, electric water dragons, which makes a lot of sense to me. And yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it. I just really liked it, so I wanted to talk about it a bit. Next is the Woolly Howl, which I guess I'm going to put right next to him. I like the Woolly Howl. I really wish that this was the idea that they went with for the third movie. It makes so much more sense than what they... I'll save it. But, like, a snow dragon, like, that just makes so much sense if you want a white Night Fury. Oh, it's like a snow fury. It's a dragon that lives in the snow. So I'm putting it here just because he deserves a mention. He deserves it. I like snow dragons a lot too. Next is the Terrible Terror. I'll put him in Great Dragon too. You know what? I'll put him at the top of Great Dragon. I really like them. You know what? Some of the best. You deserve it. You're an OG. You deserve it. I like that they're, like, messenger dragons. I feel like the lore that it's like, oh, they're like homing pigeons. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I kind of wish it was just, oh, we train them to fly from island to island. Makes a lot more sense to me. But yeah, they're just cool looking. I like that they were originally designed to be toothless from the books, and then they got repurposed for these, like, little background dragons. And I think that I like that. I like that we have, like, a little original toothless in the movies and the shows. And I think they're utilized really well in the shows. Like, I like the episode where all the writers get a terrible terror and they, like, try to train it to do things. I thought that was really cute. So yeah, Skuldrin. Skuldrin is also some of the best. I love the Skuldrin. I had a Skuldrin toy when I was a kid where you squeezed its big mouth flap and you could suck up water and then spray it at your sibling and then get it taken away. And I like its design. It's one of those dragons where it's, like, super colorful, but I feel like it fits it to, like, live in these, like, green waters. It's just nice looking. It's just one of those dragons that I feel like it's always been utilized really well. It's another, I liked that it was an antagonist in one episode, or, like, kind of an antagonist. Like, they were antagonizing it more for, like, the Blue Oleander episode, and then later they save one, and then in another episode it's trying to kill the Sea Shocker. Like, I guess I like about the show that the dragons can really flip-flop as to, like, what the situation... There's not just good and bad dragons. At least in the shows, there's not good and bad dragons. But yeah, I like its design. It's just a really good... I like how big it is, and like I said, I really like water dragons. Or, like, ocean dragons, and it's just intimidating. Next is the Forever Wing. I'm gonna just toss the Forever Wing in meh. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I never read the comics. I'm just not a comic person. Generally, I've never liked graphic novels or comics, so I never read the How to Train Your Dragon ones, just because I don't like reading that kind of story. And I think the Forever Wings were introduced in the comics, I believe, and then they're in the games. But they're a cool dragon. They don't look super How to Train Your Dragon-y. I guess that's my biggest thing, is they kind of just look like a nature dragon, which doesn't really, I don't know. Maybe they do look How to Train Your Dragon. I'm just crazy, but like I don't know. Meh. I don't have a lot of thoughts about them. They're kind of just there. Next is the Razor Whip. I'm putting him in some of the best, and I couldn't remember his name. I love the Razor Whip. I love them. Like this is the How to Train Your Dragon's first attempt of making like the pretty feminine dragon, I guess to say. I like it. I think that this is how you do it. You make it like shiny, but it's still like sharp and tough looking. They're just like really fun to watch them like fly around, and I like that they use their tail like a prehensile tail. I like watching like Wing Shear grab things with her tail, and I don't know. And I like the Wing Maidens, so I guess they get a mention for that. Their lore is really cool. That like they're born blind, so they were almost extinct until this like tribe decided to like dedicate their lives to preserving the species, and then like kind of built their lives around it. I thought that's a really cool idea that I really wish Race to the Edge both introduced sooner so we could see the Wing Maidens do more things, and then did better things with, because I feel like when the Wing Maidens were on screen, it just wasn't very interesting. Like, I don't think that there's no standout Wing Maiden episodes when there's just such a cool idea. But yeah, I like them a lot. I like how like intimidating they are. They're sharp, and I like the poisonous tears. That's a funny thing that they added. Next is the Sandbuster. I'm just gonna pop them into Great Dragon. I like that they're like a burrowing dragon that like gets burned in the sun. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but you know, I'll go with it. And then make glass. I think that's cool. I like them. I like that they're like kind of like a trapdoor spider, but a dragon. I feel like I would put it in some of the best if it. I do like its design, but if the burnt by the sun thing is just kind of contrived, I feel like it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's whatever. I'll leave it in Great Dragon. Next is this is the Thunderclaw, I think is what this one is called. And he's going in meh. It's one of the background How to Train Your Dragon 2 dragons. And you know, I'll just put this guy in here too. I'm skipping ahead. This was another one that was from the fan fiction I wrote with the Snaffle Fang. I named her Jewel, so I always want to call these like Jewel Hides or something. But I don't remember what they're actually called. Wing Gnasher, I think is what they're called. But yeah, just another plastic action figure dragon from the second movie. And then the Monstrous Nightmare. I feel like I really like them. I'm putting them right behind Natters. I love watching these things in the first movie. I just like how like fluidly they move. Like, and especially in the scene where Hiccup is in the arena and you see the Monstrous Nightmare burst out and like climb on the walls, and just how it moves is just really fun to watch. And I like the scene where like Hiccup is showing Snotlout how to train Hookfang for the first time, and you could just like see how it's breathing. I know that's like a small thing, but I don't know. I really like the animations for this thing, especially in the first movie. And I like how like kind of burnt it looks like a scorched meat, which I like a lot. And I like all the first movie dragons. They're all really cool to me. I guess the only thing with the shows is they look kind of stiff after in the shows, but I mean I can just chalk that down to a lower budget. But they're really fun to watch in the movies. Next is the Smoke Breaths. I'm putting them in Great Dragon. They're kind of similar to the Armor Wing in that I feel like I like the idea of a flock of little dragons that goes in and steals your kitchenware to like make it a big metal nest. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. And I like their designs. I really like the Breakneck Bog episode. That's one of my comfort episodes. If I'm like upset about it, I'm like, oh, I need to watch some How to Train Your Dragon. I'll put on the Breakneck Bog episode. And I like them. Not a lot to say. And I like the like smoke screen camouflage they do, which I feel like could also be like a really good like attack if you're like in an enclosed space and you fill the whole thing with smoke. That's like a really good way to like kill somebody. So like it's an underrated but like really dangerous attack that it has. Next is the Singe Tail. I'm putting Singe Tail in some of the best. I really like these guys. I like the sounds that they make a lot. They have like a really coul roar and soundboard. I like that they're chameleon eyes, that they can like look behind them. They're flat. I don't know. I just like how flat they are. They're kind of silly looking. I like that they can fling this just big ball of fire out of their tail. Because when I was in elementary school, I had this story that I was writing that had a lot of like monster characters, and one of the monster characters that I made, I forgot what I named it, but it had like the back of its neck was like a match texture. And then it, like, flicked its tail against the back of its neck, and it, like, ignited its tail, and then it could, like, shoot fire out of its tail. So the Singe Tail always reminded me of them. And I like that it can shoot fire out of its nipples. That's really funny. So I'm putting them in some of the best. I like how tough they are. I like Stork class dragons. And I don't know. That's about it. I like them a lot. The Skrill, right up here. Right up here. I love the Skrill. Okay, so, like, a small rant about the Skrill. I don't know why, after, like, the second movie, Dean Dubois decided he fucking hates the Skrill. Because, like, it was pretty heavily implied that the Skrill was the last of its kind in the shows. Or was kind of on the same... It was definitely on par with Night Fury. And that it could, like... It followed storm clouds, it could connect... Or, what's the word? Conduct electricity. That was really cool. It could, like, ride lightning to get super fast. And then in the third movie, they're like, oh, the Night Fury can do that too. They can do that too. And actually, they don't need storm clouds. They can make lightning whenever they want. And turn invisible. And they're super fast. Like, I guess, I don't know why that always, like, annoyed me. I'm like, the Skrill could already do that. Like, I don't know why this is, like... I don't know why we're playing mermaids right now, where I'm like, oh, my mermaid power is I can make waves. Oh, well, my mermaid power is I can make even bigger waves than you, and I can control the weather and talk to animals. Like, why are we playing mermaids, but with our dragons? And then he stuck a bunch of them in the hidden world, which is like, I feel like they would just be miserable in there. Like, you know, they ride storm clouds. Why would they want to be in the hidden world? They'd hate it there. And then the live action movie came out, and oh my god, what they did to the poor Skrill in the live action is like, it's got to be studied how dirty they did this thing. But on the positives, I think it's one of the coolest dragons, at least initially, that the franchise has. It's just so sharp looking. I don't know, lightning dragons are so cool. I don't even have to say that, everybody loves lightning dragons. And I like that they can be frozen in the ice. Like, I know they only said decades, but I like the idea of, like, an ancient Skrill that's been, like, asleep for, like, hundreds of years, waking up. Like, that's a really cool idea to me. I don't know, their design is just really good. I like that, the one in the episode kind of had beef with Toothless. So I feel like some people, I think, Nine Realms, yeah, they said that, like, Furies and Skrills have beef, which I think that's that would kind of make sense. That, like, these two kind of, like, night stormy dragons would both have beef with each other. I guess that makes sense if you want to take the third movie into account, but I don't know, I like them a lot. Next is the, Triple Strike. Oh, I'm putting it at the top of Great Dragons. I'm so tempted to put it in some of the best. It's just a Pokemon. It's so close to being cool. It has so many cool features. I like how armored it looks. I like, its claws. It's got claws and, like, those three tails. I love that it's, like, a brawling gladiator dragon. Like, I have the grapple ground in here. I just think it's such a cool dragon. It's just... Okay, you know what? Cool concept mix execution. That fits it. That fits what I'm describing. It's just the design. It's just way too cartoony looking. It's not scary looking at all. You know, like, I feel like if they made this dragon before How to Train Your Dragon 2, it would look a lot cooler. It's just, like, again, the, like, dark purple with the yellow just doesn't look very good. I loved the episode that it was introduced in, though. And the episode where, like, Astrid gets, like, struck by lightning or whatever. Which both have the, Triple Strike is, like, a main threat. But I don't know, I love them as an idea. I just wish that they looked a little bit less goofy. So I guess I'll put you with you guys. That should be its own tier. I love you, but I just wish you looked less goofy. Snow Wraith. Snow Wraith is another one. Great dragon. I love snow dragons. I know they were originally going to call this thing the Snow Fury, which I'm kind of glad that they didn't, just because now I can make my own Snow Fury species and pretend the third movie didn't happen. I like that they, like, burrow in the ice. I like their, like, kind of Night Fury, like, blasts. The whole thing where, if you bury yourself in snow, it can't see you. I thought the whole point of having heat vision was that you could see hot things and bury it in the snow. But I guess it can't do that. That's kind of stupid to me. But I don't know. I like them. I think they're used as much as they need to be. I feel like if they were used anymore, I'd be, like, kind of sick of them. But I don't know. They only show up in a couple episodes and I like them. Next is the Small Shadows. They're like, I don't want to put another one in. I wish that they just looked less goofy. They're big heads. They're just really dumb looking. But you know what? They deserve to go in Great Dragon. I just love how smart that they are. That episode had a lot of really good tension of Hiccup being sleep deprived and he can't, like, think he's being outsmarted by these little dragons. I love that one of them will, like, pretend to be injured. Like, I think there's a species of bird that does that. And then, like, all the other ones jump out and kill you. And it's another one. This dragon has a body count. It killed all those hunters, and I like when the dragons have that kind of kill count. So I don't know. I like them a lot. I like the idea that they have a symbiotic relationship with this other dragon. I just wish they looked a little less goofy. That's another one. I wish that they were designed a little bit earlier on so they could look a little less goofy. Next is the Rumblehorn. I love the Rumblehorn. Some of the best. I love this thing. Like, I love Skull Crusher. I love this big brawling dragon. The only negative that I would have for this, oh god, what are they called? Rumblehorn, is they should be Boulder class. I don't like that they made a whole, like, the Tracker class. The Tracker class didn't have to exist. It just existed so they could say a bunch of the How to Train Your Dragon 2 dragons. Oh no, they smell good. That's like every How to Train Your Dragon 2 dragon is like, oh, it just smells really good. That doesn't sound right. Like, it's really good at tracking things. And then they moved the Natter into that doesn't make any sense. But I guess that's not the Rumblehorn's fault. I like that it just has such a pred. Like, I like that the other dragons just respect it. Like, all the other dragons were like, oh, this dragon is smart, and it's like naturally protective. So, oh, if this dragon is telling us to get off this island, we gotta get off this island now. Like, I like that dragons kind of have a natural respect for it. And it's just, the design is really nice as well. Like, I like the tail. I like the tail isn't too bulky. It's just kind of this subtle, it will kill you. And yeah, I like them. Next, oh my god, the Typhoomerang. Dude, I love the Typhoomerang. This is another dragon. I love that at the time that it was made, because it's just so scary looking. Like, that episode where they're introduced, where, like, Toothless runs out of Hiccup's house and is, like, tracking it down, and you just see it, like, stomping through the forest, and then it's, like, it's hunting the boar, and it circles the boar in fire, and you just see its face lit up by the fire. It's so scary. I love it. I feel like I should count the red ones and the blue ones as a different dragon, because the red ones just look so much better than the blue ones. And I like the, Eelpox episode. I like that one a lot, and that had the Typhoomerangs in it. Yeah, they're just so intimidating. I like their big wings and just how much dominance they have until Meatlug kicks one of their ass. But you know what? Good for Meatlug. I'll give her that. But yeah, I love them. I love, I think, every dragon from, the Cartoon Network show. I would say I love it. I don't think there's any from that show that I dislike. The next one is the Grimnasher. I'm putting this one in cool concept mixed execution. I haven't watched that episode in a while, but, like, I really like that they're, this dragon that kind of took advantage of Vanaheim, that they're like, oh, this is where a bunch of sick and dying dragons go. I'm gonna go hunt there. Like, I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't like how they were treated in that episode as, like, oh, how could a dragon do... Maybe I'm fully misremembering. I could be, like... Maybe... But I kind of remember Fish Legs being like, oh, that's such a horrible thing to do, and it's like, dude, they're animals. Like, that makes so much sense. Because I feel like that makes a lot of sense for an animal. I like how raptor, I love the raptor dragons. I like that they can, like, shoot these, like, bony teeth out of their throat. That's cool. And maybe the teeth have, like, venom on them. I don't remember. Like I said, I haven't watched that episode in a long time. I don't really like it. But yeah, they're just a cool dragon. I like them. I'm putting them in mixed execution just because I feel like I'm remembering Fish Legs not liking them on the pure basis that they hunt other dragons, but I could, maybe they deserve to go here, and I don't know, maybe I'm, like, getting mad at Fish Legs for something he didn't do. Next one is the Rain Cutter, I think is what this one is called, and you are going right into meh. I have nothing to say about the Rain Cutter. Zippleback. Pretty easy to put this one in some of the best. I love all the first movie dragons. I like the idea of a dragon that can, like, make this big cloud of gas and then, like, maybe trick other dragons or people into going into it and then blows them up. Like, I like that they can make traps like that. And then it can, like, the gas can, like, travel and, like, encompass an entire area and then it blows them up. I don't know. I like them a lot. Fun fact about the first movie. This is more of a story about how stupid I was as a kid. The scene where the Zippleback is introduced, there's one part where you can see one of the heads kind of, like, slithering out of the smoke. I thought that was a different dragon. I was just a really dumb kid. I thought that wasn't the Zippleback, and that was just some, like, Whispering Death-esque dragon. Just, like, I stopped believing this, probably when I was around 10. I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? That doesn't make any sense. I was a little too old to figure that out, but, that's not the Zippleback's fault. I like him a lot. Yeah, I like the two heads. I love two-headed dragons. They're cool, and I love, the green and yellow. I know that's just one specific Zippleback, but it just looks really good with the red on this back. They're really cool looking. Bewilderbeast is next. I'd say this is some of the best. I love the Bewilderbeast. They're a very intimidating dragon. I love the colors of both of them in the movie. I know we only see the two of them, but I love the scenes where you can just see Drago's bewilderbeast, and it's just so intimidating. Like the scene where like Hiccup thinks he has the upper hand on Drago, and he turns around and then this thing is staring at him. Like, that's so scary. I loved that as a kid. And I like that it can like shoot ice and it makes these like big ice hives. Like, that's a really cool idea to me. The only downside I would give it is the line where Volka's like, every nest has a queen, but this is a king. That's alright, Volka. That's adding fuel to my How to Train Your Dragon is like low-key sexist fire, but I guess it's not the Bewilderbeast fault. That's more of, I don't really like Volka that much. I might get hate for that. Volka's another character that I'm like, everybody loves her. I'm just kind of like, I don't like her. I don't like her that much, but that's a whole different thing. What else do we got? The Gronkle. Some of the best. I love Gronkles. I kind of don't like what the later shows did to them, because I feel like in the first movie, they were like one of the toughest. Like, Hiccup says that, like, oh yeah, if you kill a Gronkle, you're getting a girlfriend. You're getting bitches if you kill a Gronkle. And I like that. Like, I just like how tough they are. I love Boulder Class dragons. I love the idea that they, like, swallow rocks and then heat them up in their stomach. Which, like, I don't get why the later shows try to tell us that they, like, that they eat it. They swallow it and regurgitate it. Like, you're not gonna say, like, a bird likes rock. Like, some birds swallow rocks to help them digest. They're not getting nutrients from the rocks. They're not, like, salivating over a rock. Which, like, I kind of thought was dumb. But I guess if I had to pick a least favorite from the first movie, I'd probably say Gronkle. Just, I don't know. I don't know. They do the least for me. I do like them. Like, they're still in some of the best. I have the least to say about them. I feel like they're just a really solid idea. Okay, the Thunder Drum. Way to the top. I love the Thunder Drums so much. Oh my god. The episode where the Thunder Drums are introduced, that is another one of my comfort episodes, and I will watch that all the time. I just love them. Like, I love ocean dragons. I love how blue Tornado is, and I also just love Tornado as a character. Tornado's mistreatment it's wild. I'm still mad that he's not in Titan Uprising. I love him. I like how kind of goofy they look when deflated, but if they have to, they can look really tough. I like the kind of, like, corally design of their gills, and, I like that they're kind of, like, social pack dragons. I have two separate headcanons, because in the movies, they're, like, significantly bigger than they are in the shows. I don't know if that's, like, a budget thing, or that the Thunder Drums were just introduced in the shows first, and then the movies decided to change it. But it can either be, those are two different species of Thunder Drums, like, one of them is, like, a close relative that's just, like, a bigger Thunder Drum. Or, Thunder Drums can live, they generally live deep in the ocean, or, like, far out in the ocean, but when they're younger, they come, like, more inland, because they're small enough but, like, once they get too big, it's hard for them to stay out on land for a long time. I usually go with it's two different species. They're another one of those dragons. I loved them before I wrote one of my, Splatoon How to Train Your Dragon. I already loved them, but that just added more fuel to it. I just love them so much. The only downside that Thunder Drums have is the unnecessarily added lore that they're hard of hearing. That makes no sense. Tornado can clearly hear Stoic, and there's even a plot point in one of the earlier episodes where Fishlegs is practicing his dragon calls and he accidentally calls a Thunder Drum. So how the fuck would he call a Thunder Drum if they were hard of hearing? It doesn't make any sense. I really hate that they added that. But I do like the idea that they have beef with what are they called? Death songs. My personal headcanon is that they have, like, collapsible eardrums, so when they roar, their body naturally flattens their ears to protect their ears. And they also sideline evolved to, when they hear the death song, their brain automatically closes their eardrums to protect them. So the Thunder Drum couldn't hear Hiccup in that one episode, because it's just eardrums were closed to protect itself. But when they're not near a death song, they can hear just fine. That's my personal opinion. I love Thunder Drums. Their designs are just really good. Everything about them, I love them, except for that one weird hearing thing. Speed Stingers, another, some of the best. I love them. I love the idea. I was actually talking to my sister. She is more of a history person than I am. And I was saying, like, I like the idea that Speed Stingers were, like, more of these, like, flatlands, like, run down their prey to kill it kind of pack hunting creature. And due to, like, geological changes, some of them were forced out onto, like, these ice bridges and they got stuck on the island. So they didn't evolve to be an island dragon, which is why I like them more than the Cavern Crasher, because that makes sense. And she told me that apparently, I think somewhere in, like, England, it was a flatland at one point. before it like became more mountainous. She explained it to me. I think it was England. It could have been somewhere else in Europe. But I like that just makes sense to me, and I like that they're like evolving to be able to swim or run on water. And they're also just such an intimidating dragon because they can actually hit their shots. Like, I know that that's because like a speed stinger, if it hits you, you're not dead, you're just like frozen. So I guess the show can like let them actually hit their shots as opposed to like you can't have a character get like blasted in the face by like a monstrous nightmare or something because it would die, or they would die. But the speed stinger can actually hit things, and I like their designs. They're simple designs, but I like that they're raptor-like. I like that they're like very loyal to their pack, so you have to like train them from birth. They're really cool. I just like them a lot. So they're some of the best. I think the only dragon. Oh yeah. Okay. There were a couple that were just in Great Dragon. I thought I put like all of the Cartoon Network ones, some of the best. Next we have Stormhoppers. That's Volka's dragon. I'm putting them in meh. That is controversial. It's just their design. My thing with like what makes a dragon interesting to me, that makes it above meh, is it has something cool going for it. Like it has a cool ability. And it's like, I don't know, the Stormhoppers, they're just cool looking. Like they don't have any ability that is at least nothing that's shown or that I can think of that's like standout. Like I feel like like the other dragons, like the Singe-tail has like its fire, and the whatever this thing is, the Death Song can like call their dragons to. But it's like the Stormhopper, it breathes normal fire. It just has the 4 wings, so it's like super maneuverable. I don't know. I know they're a fan favorite. A lot of people, and I don't dislike them. I think that they're very cool looking. It's just like I've always just been kind of meh on them. Like they've never been in my top 10. Like I did have a Stormhopper toy as a kid that I loved. Its wings were attached, so like you could like press its legs together and it would make its wings spread apart. It was really cool, but it broke immediately. Those toys were brittle. Me and my sister had like a massive How to Train Your Dragon toy collection, and all of them were amputees. Like most of them were missing some kind of limb because we would play with them a lot. I don't know if I haven't met anybody else that had like a massive How to Train Your Dragon collection when they were a kid, but like those things would shatter. And we would still play with them too. Like I had a lot of them that I made like prosthetics for because like my mom was like, I'm not buying you more dragons if you keep breaking them. And I wasn't gonna stop breaking them, so that's not at all related. I don't know. Like their design is just really cool. I just wish they had something like, even if he gave him like echolocation, like you can take that from Toothless. Give the Stormhopper echolocation, and maybe say it's like, oh, it's a sky hunter and it can like smell from like a very far. That's like every dragon from How to Train Your Dragon 2, but it's like it can locate dragons and like it like hunts them down from the sky. I don't know. Like give it something, or like make it. Oh, it has the fastest diving speed. It's like a peregrine falcon. Like it's a silent flyer. But I feel like it just doesn't have any of that. Maybe it does, and I don't know it, but I don't know. They just feel like they were designed to look cool first, and were just never given a cool ability. Next is the Snap Trapper. Snap Trapper, I need a tier that's done dirty, because the Snap Trapper, such a cool idea. They had a 3D model that was like fully rigged, and they just never put this guy in the shows or the movies. I love the idea of a dragon that can like lure in like humans and kill them. Like maybe that's why they never put it in the shows, because that's just like maybe a little bit too bleak for a 7-Up show, but I don't know. I love it. I love multi-head dragons. I like the idea of this thing camouflaging, and like maybe they say it smells like chocolate. I don't know how the Vikings would know what chocolate is. I don't think they had chocolate there, but like I don't know. I like the idea that it's more like kind of like the Death Song, but for people. Like it's the smell, and it kind of like gets in your head, and like maybe it like kind of intoxicates you, and it's like you're like a zombie, like you're just drawn to this thing, and then you realize at the last second, oh no, I'm gonna get eaten by a dragon, and it swallows you. Which maybe that was a little too bleak for a kids show, but like I really liked it. And they said, I think in the Book of Dragon special, that it sheds its scales. I like the idea that it sheds its scales to like blend in with different seasons. Like maybe it turns white in the winter, kind of like a rabbit, so it can camouflage better. And then it's green in the summer. That's not canon. I just think it's cool. What else do I have? The Whispering Death. I'm putting it right next to the Screaming Death. I love this thing, kind of for the same reasons I love the Screaming Death. It's just scary looking. I like its white eyes. It has such an intimidating presence. It's the sounds it makes is really cool. This dragon does make sense that it has a sensitivity to sunlight. Like, I think that makes sense. I like its like milky eyes, and its colors are all really good. And it's not an evil dragon, even though it's like really creepy looking. It's not. They're not evil. Even though Toothless has beef with the specific dragon, he doesn't kill it. That's a big thing. Is like Toothless doesn't. He's not a bad dragon. He doesn't like kill dragons if he doesn't absolutely have to, and he lets the whatever they're called, Whispering Death, go that he had beef with because of that. That wasn't right. And I like that they had like a positive relationship with one that was like the Screaming Death's mother, and Hiccup sets it free, and then the Screaming Death doesn't want to kill him anymore. Like, I don't know. I like how they handled dragons in the shows a lot more than they did in the third movie. The Timberjack, another very similar story to the whatever it's called, the Snaptrapper. It's hot because I had to turn my air conditioner off to film this. I'm getting delirious. I'm putting it in some of the best. I loved this thing. Okay, because the weird thing is, like, this thing had a lot of toys, but, like, I never had a Typhoomerang toy, but I had a bunch of Timberjack toys, and the Timberjack never showed up in the show, but the Typhoomerang did. I'm like, I love the Typhoomerang, so I had a bunch of Timberjack toys. Say a bunch, I think I had, like, 3. But that was still a good amount for a dragon that, like, never showed up in the shows, but I like him. Some of the best is a bit much. I'm gonna put it in Great Dragon. It never showed up, so I can't really put it in some of the best, but I like this, like, woods dragon. I like its color, and its design is really cool. I do like it when we see it in the background of the movies, but other than that, it doesn't really get much more than a cameo. And the last dragon of, like, before I go on, like, tirades is, the Gore Gutter, and I'm putting the Gore Gutter in some of the best. It is my favorite dragon from the third movie. I love its colors. It's another one of those Boulder Class dragons. It just smashes through things, and it's got these massive antlers and this big. I like that its tail isn't like it's not like just a boulder, but it's like a kind of like an axe at the end of it. I think that I think a lot of people like the Gore Gutter, and I agree with them. I think it's a really cool dragon. I like how big it is. I like it. I like the idea that maybe it has like a symbiotic relationship with Gronkles, where they'll like spit or like vomit lava into its its antlers, and it can like ram into something. It's got these like flaming antlers. That image is just really cool to me. Next I'll do the live. I did put the live action ones in, just for shits and giggles. I think I took the Zibble back out. No, I do have them all. So first one's the Gronkle. I really do not like the Gronkle. I hate the Gronkle's design in the live action. They made it like green, and they took away its bumps, and it's just so bad looking. It's just so ugly. It's not even, it's just a different design. It's just ugly, and I hate looking at it. That's gonna be my summary for a lot of these dragons. Natter, same story. Why'd they make the Natter so unpleasant to look at? I don't know how you took this really, like, sleek, kind of, like, jumpy, very fast dragon and just made it look bulky, and, like, its face is just hideous. I'm so mad at what they did to the Natter. I have more positive things to say about the Monstrous Nightmare. I actually think that the Monstrous Nightmare, it's kind of hard to rank these. I'm going to put it in Great Dragon. I really like the live-action interpretation of the Monstrous Nightmare. I kind of like that as, like, the crocodile face, and I like how big it looks. It's kind of the issue where, like, if it's live-action and they're also big, it's kind of hard to make them have the same sleekness that, like, the Monstrous Nightmare had in the first movie, but I thought it was good. It was fun to watch. The live-action, this is the, Red Death live-action. I don't like it. It's ugly. It's a really bad design. I don't get how you tried to make a realistic dragon, and I feel like the cartoon version was a lot more realistic looking than this thing. Although I kind of wish I bought the toy, just because I never had a Red Death toy as a kid, and I think because when they were making them, I think that they would have been like $50 or something, and my mom was like, we do not have $50 for you to spend on a toy you're gonna break. So I never got a Red Death if they ever made Red Death toys, but I kind of wanted to get the live-action Red Death, but I didn't do it because I'm, I guess, responsible with my money. The next one, the Terrible Terror. You know what, it's at the end. The thing that I hate about it is what people gas up, because people are like, oh, it's like a chameleon, because, why? Because, okay, chameleons have those eyes because they are cold-blooded creatures. A chameleon has those eyes because it's bulky and it cannot turn around to see things behind it. So, and, like, the other dragon that has chameleon eyes, the Cinchtail, it's because it's very flat to make it faster, and it can't turn its head, so this way it can look behind it without, like, compromising its speed. That makes sense. A chameleon is trying to sit still, so it only moves its eyes to look around. Why the fuck would a Terrible Terror need chameleon eyes? It's fast, it can turn around, It's not like a cinch tail. It can turn around while flying just fine. Why does it? And people are always like, oh, it's just so surface level. It pisses me off. It just pisses me off because of how like blatantly, I don't know. It's so dumb. I don't like it at all. The zippleback. I'll just move on to the zippleback. You know what? I'll put it here. This isn't really following what these are saying. I'm just like ranking it. I'm ranking it below the Monstrous Nightmare. You know what? We'll rank them. We'll rank them all here, just so I can like get a ranking of how much I like or dislike them. We'll do. At least it's not ugly. Okay, this is my order so far. And then Toothless. I'm gonna put Toothless about here. He's fine looking in live action. He's just. They based him off the third movie, so he's obviously just not gonna look as good. And the thing they did with the wings, where they made, I don't know why so many dragon designs like to do this, where they make one of the, like, bone finger things in the wing that isn't the end one longer. It just makes it look so much less aerodynamic. It doesn't look realistic at all, because animals don't look like that. I should probably put up a picture of what I'm talking about. I don't think I'm describing it that well. It's his wing design. It just makes me angry, because it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. The original Toothless didn't have that, because it would have made him slower. Why would a dragon whose whole thing is it's fast need that? It's dumb. I'm not ranking these two. I saved these two for last. There's a whole reason this tier list. There's a whole reason this tier exists. I feel like I should make a whole video on just taking down why I hate the Light Fury, and it's a bad design. It's just a really bad design for an animal. So if her whole thing is it's this pretty girl dragon that lures Toothless back to the wild, and she looks like the most selectively bred, like, the doodle-looking dragon I've ever seen. She's so smooth, and it's I don't know. And again, this kind of goes back to the Death Gripper, where it's like, I know what I know. I know what Dean said. I know what he said, that it's hard to design female characters, because he's sexist, and I'm not afraid to say that. He's just a sexist guy. I love his movie, but he is. You can tell in his writing, and it's just so blatantly obvious with her. She has markings on her scales that are in the shape of hearts around her head. She is just smooth, she's shaven, she's covered in sparkles. Her wings, she wasn't even allowed to have, like, ridges on her wings. It is just smooth. Her tail is shaped like a fucking heart. I've seen people be like, oh, she leans just a little too feminine. I don't have a problem with, like, dragons or monster designs being feminine. Like, that's not, I don't have an issue with that. I don't, like, if she was from a different franchise, I wouldn't care. But she just doesn't fit How to Train Your Dragon at all. And they've made dragons, like the Natter, and the, whatever makes sure with the Razor Whip, that look like they're supposed to be, like, they're more feminine dragons, but they still look like dragons. They're still rough. They still have, like, scars. Or they said, where Dean said that the Light Fury was not allowed to have, markings or stripes, because it would make it look too much like scars, and girls can't have scars. I know that it's crazy. Her story is supposed to be captured and abused by hunters, but she can't have any scars, because that's not pretty enough. That's her whole thing. And I've seen people say, because I've talked about this, I've been talking about this since this movie came out, when I was, like, 14 when this movie came out, and I was pissed then, and I'm pissed now. People will say, like, oh, well, how do you hate the Light Fury? She makes Toothless so happy. That is not an argument. Like, you notice how you don't have to say that for Astrid? You don't have to say, why do you hate Astrid? Or, like, why don't you like Astrid? She makes Hiccup so happy. Because Astrid is a fucking character. She's a person. Like, you don't have to fall back on that. You don't have to fall back on that with, like, any other character in this franchise. Oh, they make this character so happy. That's not a good design for a dragon. That's not a good design for your character. It's like, name her personality traits. She doesn't have any. She's skittish, I guess. Like, she's supposed to be wild and, like, alluring. And I don't like her. This is the Light Fury rant. I'm genuinely considering making, like, a long video breaking down her design and why I hate every single aspect of it. They gave her, like, she's got tiny feet. She has a heart on her tail, a heart on her head, smooth wings. She's shaven. She's smaller than Toothless, which I don't know if that's trying to imply that she's significantly younger than him, because they are reptiles, and they're a subspecies. That subspecies means the same species. It doesn't mean a different species. It means, like, very slight differences. First of all, no. No, she is not. This is a completely different species. And it's just, she's quiet, she's not as loud as Toothless, and I don't know. And she can't even have spikes on her back. She has to have this smooth ridge that makes no sense. And even her ability, because if she was supposed, it would make more sense if she was, like, a day fury. Like, oh, this is the Night Fury but they, like, evolved to be, like, white so they could come out in the day. Because she lives in the snowy, barbaric archipelago. Like, this, like, if you see pictures of, like, where How to Train Your Dragon is supposed to take place, it's, like, foggy. So it makes sense, like, oh, she's white to camouflage in with the fog and, like, the snow, and then she sleeps at night. That makes sense. That, like, I would be willing to take that over it. But it's the fact, oh no, she still comes out at night, but she can shoot a giant plasma blast to alert everything in the area that she is nearby, and then she flies into it for, like, a minute of camouflage. That makes no sense. Because she's supposed to be a cave dragon as well. She's from the hidden world. So why would a cave dragon evolve to have camouflage that requires them shooting a massive explosive blast of fire in a cave that it can then turn invisible for? And if she's in a cave, it's not like she can get very far away from whatever's chasing her. So is she supposed to be like a cave dragon, or like, was she evolved to live outside? I don't know. They just did not give enough thought to that. And I've heard people even say, I think this argument is dead, but I heard a lot of people, oh, she's a semi-aquatic dragon. No, the fuck she's not. Name one time where she's swimming in that movie. She doesn't have gills, she never swims, she never interacts with water whatsoever. She's not a fucking water dragon. Do not piss me off with that. The only thing that she has going for her is her color palette is Knife of Toothless, I guess. I guess she has that. And then the Nightlights. Very similar. Why do they look like kittens? They're ugly. Their designs are ugly. They make no sense as animals. They can't camouflage in the day. They can't camouflage at night. These things are genetic failures. I hate them. And they're ugly. And I dislike them. That's about it. I'm done ranting about the Furies. I wish I had done them first, because now I'm ending this on a bad note. So I'm going to talk about my favorite, the Thunder Drum. I feel like I make that really obvious. If I, like, ever talk about How to Train Your Dragon in any sense, I feel like I make it pretty obvious the Thunder Drum is my favorite. I love them. I love Tornado. Tornado is my favorite dragon character in the entire franchise. I love the Bing Bang and Boom, or Bing Bang and Lloyd, whatever you want to call them. I love them. I love the baby Thunder Drums. Very good design. The adult Thunder Drums have really good design. I like their abilities. Everything about them is good. And I like Stoic, and this is, like, the Stoic dragon. And all-time least favorite. It is... I gotta put her in. They're ugly. Her design principle is uglier. There's my list. I feel like I ranted enough about why I dislike the Light Fury that I don't have to explain why she's my all-time least favorite. And even then, I'm saying she. I'm not saying that. I know I'm ranking these based on the species. And as a species, I still say that that's my least favorite. But it's she. You know? She doesn't even get a name. The character, the Light Fury. Just the Light Fury. She doesn't even get a name. And people are like, oh, it's to keep her more wild. Shut up with that. That's stupid. And I know there's plenty of other dragons that are like, oh, the Bewilderbeast, the Green Death. If you're trying to give your, like, human-level intelligent dragon mascot character a girlfriend, give her a name. You know? Give her a fucking name. At least Lilo and Stitch gave the pink, ugly alien a name. It's no offense, Angel. At least Angel was a character. I'm not into Lilo and Stitch. I just feel like I compare them to How to Train Your Dragon a lot. At least she's a character. She's a personality, you know? And now I'm angry, because I talked about that. The Hackatoo gets to stay, because it's my sister's favorite. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. I just kind of wanted to talk about How to Train Your Dragon for an hour, because I was supposed to be in work today, but I hurt my knee at work, so I have to sit in my hot room and do nothing. And not stand up, and I hate that, so I'm making a tier list about How to Train Your Dragon. I'll probably save this and post it somewhere, and then, like, argue with people about it. So if you did watch it, thank you for watching. These are all my thoughts. I want to make more videos about How to Train Your Dragon, just because I love talking about it. I just don't have the time to make videos a lot of the time. But yeah, if you disagree with this, tell me why. If you like a dragon that I put in, really don't like. If you like the Light Fury, I'm not mad at you. I don't like... If she's your favorite dragon, I don't care, you know, like, you could to live your life, I'm not saying that you're sexist if you like the Light Fury, obviously, because that'd be a fucking stupid take. If the live action, Gronkle is your favorite dragon, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for yelling at him for a while. If your least favorite is the Thunder Drum, don't talk to me. I'm not open to criticism on that. Any other ones I'm open to talking about it, but not the Thunder Drum. The Thunder Drum is my baby and my favorite. And I'm sorry for putting, Night Furies in overrated. That's just true. There's so many dragons in this franchise, I feel like everything is about Night Furies, and it pisses me off. So yeah. I don't have anything else to say.